I bought a bunch of cheap fishing rods from Temu, and in this video I'm going to be testing them out and letting you know if they're secretly good or if they're a complete waste of money. And these are the 3 rods here. Now I think that this one is probably the best and probably my favourite, so I'm going to leave that till last. And I'm going to start off with the cheapest and probably the worst, this blue little telescopic rod here. Now this rod cost me $8 here, and I bought it to be more like a travel rod. And I think it's important to know that all the reels I'm using in this video didn't come with the rods, and they're just reels I just had lying around. Now the first thing that I've noticed is that this thing is just completely made of plastic, and it smells like straight chemicals. Yeah, so that's not really a good thing. It's also super stiff. I don't know if you're able to tell, but it has no action on it. I don't think I'm going to be able to feel bites or anything on this thing. And yeah, this thing just looks pretty ugly. It feels really cheap. And it's probably going to snap, I reckon, if I hook a big fish or something. This whole thing here is just made of plastic, like the handle, everything. It's also pretty heavy. Like, I've taken the reel off and it still feels like a surf cast or something. Not quite, but you know what I mean. The guides also look pretty cheap. I don't know if you can tell, but they look like they're just glued on there. But yeah, overall, first impressions aren't great. I mean, it was only $8 though, so I mean, it could be worse. But yeah, we're gonna see if we can catch a fish on this thing. Telescopic rods normally aren't as strong as generic rods anyway, and I mean, this one's made of plastic, so I doubt this thing's gonna hold up very well in the long run, but there's only one way to find out. Telescopic rod here. We're just gonna give it a cast and see how it does. It actually doesn't cast too bad, although I do have pretty thin braid on here, which is probably why, but that didn't cast too bad. It's pretty smooth, could cast pretty far. Now I'm just gonna fish around for a bit and see if we can catch a fish on it. It's gonna be pretty hard to know if we get a bite or something, because this rod is not very sensitive. But yeah, like I was saying, this rod's made out of plastic, so we should hopefully be able to catch fish on it today, but I'm not sure how long it's gonna last in the future, because the build quality on it isn't great. That might have been a hit there. I'm not sure, it's probably hard to tell if that was a rock or if that was a fish. Alright guys, I think I just found a school of perch. I'm just going to bring my spinner right through there. Oh yeah, hit. Got one. Let's go guys. Look at that. Just saw a school of perch and we just casted the spinner out and we got one. It was pretty hard to tell they had a fish on. Don't want to get a treble in my hand here. There we are, nice little perch there on the $8 telescopic rod. Nice, chuck them back. Alright guys, so I just landed the first fish on the telescopic rod there. It was a nice little perch, not super big, but I couldn't really tell I had a fish on there. Like I said before, the rod's just super stiff, which isn't great when you're lure fishing. But anyway, we managed to catch a fish on it. I'm going to keep fishing for a bit and see if we can catch fish on the other rods. Right, now, do I recommend the $8 telescopic rod? I have to say no. I mean, this thing is only $8, but it's just built pretty badly. It's not sensitive at all. It's super like thick and stuff down the end here. It's just not built very well, and I felt you'd be better off just buying a $20 rod from Kmart or something. I was able to catch fish with it. I mean, it did make it pretty difficult. It didn't cast too bad, but I felt like that was mostly because of the braid and stuff on the reel. I will need to test this thing out with a cheaper reel and some mono or something. But yeah, I would not recommend the $8 telescopic rod. Right, now onto the next rod, which came in this nice little case. And this was just an ultralight rod that I bought. See there, the rod is there. Now it's a 2-piece. And this one cost me $15. And the actual rod is made of carbon fibre, which is pretty nice. Now you can see this one already looks better. I mean, it's got a cork handle. It feels a lot nicer. The rod's made of better material. Well, the handle and stuff here is still made of plastic, but better plastic than what the other telescopic rod is made from. You see it's got a bait keeper here, which is nice for like lures and hooks and stuff. Now something I've noticed from holding it is that it's super flimsy. Like, this thing just bends a crazy amount, which, I mean, it is an ultralight rod, but I mean, even at the handle here, like, it bends. Like, that's going to make casting pretty hard, I reckon, and I don't know how strong it's going to be if we hook a big fish. Yeah, overall, I mean, for $15 it's not too bad by the looks of things. But yeah, this rod's a lot lighter than the other one. The guides and stuff are nicer. Yeah, this will be interesting. This will be interesting and see if we can catch a fish on it. Alright guys, so now I've just got the $15 ultralight rod here. Now this thing has the opposite problem as that telescopic rod did. It's way too flimsy, but we'll see, it might make it hard to cast. And I've just got a little soft bait on the end there with a little 1 gram jig head. I'm just going to give this a go. I didn't cut the tag end off because it probably doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm just going to cast in the exact same spot because I'm pretty sure there's a school of perch there. Whoa, that thing is weird to cast. It's so flimsy. Oh, we had a hit. This thing is so hard to cast. But it doesn't, I can cast a 1 gram jig head far enough. Oh, I had another hit. I think these fish might just be small. It's super sensitive, but also super hard to cast. It would make it easier if I had a bit of a bigger jig head on, but I'm just rocking a little 1 gram. I just want to test it out, see how well it casts. Oh, hits, yep. Oh, missed him. Now, because this rod's so flimsy, it's pretty hard to set the hook as well. Because I don't want to pull too hard, just pull the hook out of the water. But if you don't go hard enough, then... Oh, there's one. Oh, and he came off. Do you bite my tail off? Nope, still good. What? Bro, this thing scares me, honestly, when I cast. Oh, I'd hate to cast it with a heavier lure on. It'd probably snap. Come on, there were so many fish here just before. And they all sort of got spooked a bit. I'm just gonna reel super slowly. Oh, man, this thing's hard to cast. Yeah, that's better. I'm just gonna reel that in super slowly. Oh, hits. Yep, got one on. Look at that on the little ultralight. Oh, this is just a... Oh, and he came off. That was a tiny fish. But it was still a lot of fun on this light gear. Cast. Yep, got one. Oh, and he came off again. Come on. Just need one fish. Yeah, the thing with perch is that they hang out in schools lots of the time, so if you can find a school of them, you can normally catch quite a few. But then they all sort of leave together, so you just need to find a group of them. Oh, that was a hit. Yeah, there's still a few fish around, but just before I could just see schools of them up around the surface and stuff, making ripples. I'll tell you what, this is only a 1 gram jig head, which is extremely light, like way lighter than anything I'd normally use. And I mean, it's casting it far enough, which is pretty impressive. Oh, yep, got one. Come on, stay on. Yes, look at that, finally. An even smaller one than the one before, but it's still good on the rod. I just kind of horsed him in there just because I really wanted to catch one, so he can change rods. But there, soft bait comes out. There we go, another little small perch. Still good fun on this light gear. Off he goes. Now, would I recommend the $15 ultralight? This one's close, but I have to say no. I mean, it's $15 and it was able to cast that 1 gram jig head. It was also a lot of fun when I did hook a fish on it. But as you saw, casting was so sketchy, like, it just doesn't, it's so flimsy. It was also super hard to keep fish on the hook because it's so light, and you know, I couldn't properly set the hook into the fish. But it is a lot of fun, I will say that. But but I feel like it's just not practical enough. With that being said, I would recommend it a lot more than the $8 telescopic rod. I mean, it's made of carbon fibre, it's got a cork handle on it, and it is super flimsy, and although it does feel like it's going to break, I don't feel like it will, but it's just not worth that risk. It is a lot of fun though. Alright, now onto the third and final rod. I'm really excited to use this one. This was the most expensive, but it's only like $23, so not that much more expensive than the last. And look at that, this is another ultralight rod, and this thing just looks so nice. Look at that. Another two-piece rod. It's similar to the last, but that's mean the build quality and the finish on this one is so much nicer. I mean, this one's super sensitive, but then it does stiffen out as you get lower down on the rod. Yeah, this one again is made of carbon fibre, and if you look at the handles and stuff, like this is all metal here, this orange stuff, and this is like a lot tougher plastic than the other rods. Super nice foam bits on the handle there. Yeah, like this is all metal. It just looks like a super nice rod here. It's also extremely light, like it feels like I'm holding nothing. And then the guides on it look super nice as well. They look like proper guides. So the lure rating on this is 0.8 to 5 grams, which is extremely light. It's gonna be fun if we can catch some fish on this. But yeah, like, this looks like a rod that would cost like hundreds of dollars. This thing only costed 23. It almost looks too good to be true, but we're gonna find out, see how good this thing really is. Alright, now it's time for the $23 ultralight rod. This is one I'm most excited for. I mean, just look at that. That's such a nice looking rod there. I mean, it's got metal handles, the whole thing's made of carbon, the whole rod. It bends super well, but then it's not too flimsy. Yeah, I'm super excited to use this thing. I've just got the same little black 1 gram soft bait there. We'll see how this casts. Oh yeah, that casts so much nicer already. I went about the same distance, but it just doesn't feel like it's gonna snap when you cast. And I mean, if this thing can cast a little 1 gram soft bait, I'm sure it can cast spinners and other heavier stuff a lot easier. But yeah, and this whole combo is like super light. Like, it feels like you're holding nothing. And it's super thin as well. Hoping that it's gonna be strong, I'm not sure. If we hook a big fish on it, we'll find out. But if you guys do want to see me take these rods out and try to catch some proper big fish with them, let me know, because I'll be glad to do that. Right, it's been a bit quiet, so I think I'm going to move spots and see if we can find some more fish. So I've just sort of changed spots to a shallower part of the lake. We'll see if there's any more fish around here. Oh, yep, there's a fish first cast. Look at that. Just a tiny one. There we go. First cast over here. Wow, that was fun on that little rod. Super small fish, but there you go. That is easily the smallest of the day, but still put up a fairly good fight on the little rod. Let's try and catch a few more fish with this thing, I reckon, because that was a lot of fun. Right, we just caught that fish. Oh, there's another one. Second cast. Look at that. Look at the bend in that rod. This is another pretty small fish, I reckon. But I can definitely feel it on this rod. Wow. Second cast, 2 fish in 2 casts. Another really small one, but still great fun on this super light gear. See if we can go 3 and 3. Yep, there we are. Oh, he popped off. No. But yeah, I wonder how this rod will fare up against some big trout or something like that. Some kahawai taken out in the salt water. Who knows? Future video maybe. Is that a fish? That feels a bit better if it is. Time to drag a bit. Oh, he's getting smaller actually as it comes in. Oh yeah, still probably the biggest one I've caught on this rod. I think he took it on the drop. They're loving these little soft baits. Another little perch. Right, so now I've just got this little spinner on the head before. This is more of what I'd use when I'm trout fishing stuff. This one is a little bit heavy. This is like a 6 gram one, I think. So it's about 6 times heavier than what we were using before. So let's see how this casts. Still casts super smoothly. I barely even have to chuck that. What does it say on here? Lower weight, 0.8 to 5 gram, and this is a 6 gram lure, so it's still casting it pretty well though. Yeah, this is probably a little bit heavier than what I'd normally use. I'd probably use like a 5 gram. There. Oh, that's a rock. Look at that bend. It bends pretty nicely, like nice and evenly along the rod. Now I'm going to try to get this unstuck. There you go. Impressed with this rod, like it's super light. It just doesn't have as much power as... Is that a fish? That might be a fish. Yeah, I think that's a fish. Or a rock. Something's on. Little perch. I'm surprised he could eat that spinner, to be honest. The hooks on that are pretty big. Another perch. Now for the big question, would I recommend the $23 ultralight rod? And honestly, I have to say yes, this thing was awesome. Normally I don't like supporting cheap, overseas stuff. I feel like it's better to support actual fishing brands, but I mean, this thing has just been the absolute bomb. And for people like me who live in New Zealand, it's pretty hard to find rods like this, and if you do, they're normally hundreds of dollars. But yeah, this thing costs $23, and from what I've seen so far, I mean, it performs just as good as my higher end rods. It's super fun when you're catching fish on it, but it's also practical. Like, this thing casts lures super easily, it's super smooth, and it's just built really nice, like nice foam handles. It's made of carbon fiber. It's got metal and tougher sort of plastic than the other rods. It just seems like a really good rod to me, like there's nothing wrong with it from what I've seen so far, and it was super fun to use. It's super sensitive, which is good when you're lure fishing, and especially for those small fish where sometimes you can't feel their bites very well. But I mean, it also has enough power to actually set the hook and actually fight the fish properly, unlike that other $15 rod. So yes, this rod I would definitely recommend if you're looking for something like this. I mean, it's only $23. Now I think it's important to note, and this does go for all the rods that I've reviewed in this video, this is my first time using them, so I have no idea how they're gonna hold up long term, but I'm definitely gonna keep using this rod, and I'll keep you guys updated. If you do want to buy any of these rods, I'll leave links to them in the video description. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see me keep using these rods and even go out and try to catch some proper monster fish with them, because I'll be happy to do that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.